It's going to be epic, and it's on in the Supreme Court tomorrow. David v. Goliath, or actually David v. a team of Goliaths. A coal miner who was dudded by BHP and his labour hire cronies, Simon Turner. We've been on Simon's case for a few years now. Simon Turner, former coal miner, injured, broke his back at the Mount Arthur coal mine in New South Wales in the Hunter Valley, is suing BHP, the Japanese giant Chandler McLeod, that's the labour hire, one of BHP's many labour hire companies, the Hunter Valley Coal Corporation. He's suing Coal LSL. So effectively, he is going into court unrepresented, not even like in the castle with the vibe, Your Honour. Not even that, just on his own, because no lawyer or litigation funder will touch it.
It's just the vibe of the thing.
We've had a look at this case and it really stacks up, but it's just too big. So this will be an epic test for the system of justice in Australia. Can one single man go to court, have his day in court and be treated fairly? No doubt BHP is already trying to knock him out on a slew of technicalities, trying to have the evidence suppressed and so on already. But the case management hearing kicks off tomorrow. There'll be a bunch, well, we assume, there'll be a bunch of wigs and gowns and overpaid QCs or KCs on one side with a retinue of solicitors, and on the other side, big old Simon Turner, the coal miner who just never gives up. He wants his day in court. He's been there twice before. But his lawyers have dudded him in both cases, so it's never made it properly, apart from preliminary hearings, to court, where the evidence wasn't provided by his own lawyers. He was dudded by his own lawyers. But the case is basically this. He's suing these guys because they underpaid him, and they underpaid a lot of others. We're talking $2 or $3 billion wage theft scandal here, because BHP uses, and other coal mining giants, they use labour hire companies to do their dirty work, to underpay the workers, and the unions, they allowed these EBAs to be struck where, although it's illegal to employ people as casual coal miners, it's not permitted under the law, they struck EBAs with various people. Now, Simon's got proof that the mob he thought he was working for weren't the mob that he was actually working for. He was being paid $400 a week when he broke his back. He should have been paid $137,000 a year. He was being royally ripped off, along with a bunch of others. And this superannuation, yes, they have it, has been funneled off into this mob called Coal LSL. And if you check out our investigation by Stephanie Tran into Coal LSL, that is a monster scam. But the problem is, Simon is on one side, and on the other side, it's not just the corporations and their labour hire lackeys or flunkies, it's the government. They get the revenue from Coal LSL, and it's the Minerals Council, New South Wales Resources Council, Minerals Council. There's Queensland involvement in all this as well. It's all coal mining, Queensland, New South Wales. It's a big test case for the system of justice in Australia. Will a guy that can't afford to be represented, will he get justice? Will his case be heard? Will the documents which we've seen, and they stack up, will they ever make it to court? Will BHP pull off a suppression order? Well, the case management hearing that kicks off tomorrow should give us some vision into this, but let's have a look at it. So he broke his back at Mount Arthur 10 years ago. And the New South Wales judge, the Supreme Court, has said, yes, you can have your case heard in court. He's just filed himself, and they don't like that, the legal profession, because it's all the boys and girls have got to be involved, because you don't want some hoi polloi, some member of the great unwashed, some ordinary citizen like yours truly, wearing his Stop Legal Abuse t-shirt with a little ambulance chaser running down the road with his briefcase after the ambulance. You don't want that. You want it all. Yes, my learned friend. No, my learned friend. So he was living below the poverty line, and when he was in hospital with a broken back, he found all these irregularities in his documentation, his insurance, his superannuation, the actual person who was meant to, the mob, the entity that was meant to be employing him. So what he's got is this. He is claiming that these respondents, these defendants, BHP and co, have defied judicial findings, have tampered with Commonwealth records by retrospectively altering his Coal LSL employer ABN number to Ready Workforce, an entity that never held the mine contract and never paid him. He's claiming that they breached the federal laws as well as state, Criminal Code, Coal Industry Act, Fair Work Act, Corporations Act. We've had a look at all this stuff. It stacks up on our layman's view, and he also claims that they've countervened the Public Governance Performance and Accountability Act. And he says, to quote Simon, "The deceit is compounded by false evidence given to the Senate Education and Employment Legislation Committee on 9 October this year by two people, we'll keep their names out, who denied under oath that Coal LSL, this billion-dollar fund, multi-billion-dollar fund, holding all this superannuation but not telling people they've got their super entitlements because they want to hang on to the money and earn more money on it. Coal LSL possesses the power to verify or amend employer data, despite written correspondence proving that they exercise exactly those powers when unlawfully changing my ABN in March 2025. These acts," he says, "constitute misleading Parliament." He claims they misled the courts, which they did, his own lawyers did, a few years ago when he got a class action going into this. But the lawyers were conflicted. So we've looked at these documents. They appear to be sound, solid evidence that BHP and company have defrauded a Commonwealth fund, misled regulators and inflicted years of financial and psychological harm on a worker already injured in the course of his employment. It's a big one. Now, if you remember the scene from The Castle where the guy goes in with, I've forgotten the lawyer's name, with the suburban conveyancing lawyer, and it was up against constitutional lawyers and so on. Simon hasn't even got the suburban conveyancing lawyer. He's just on his own. He will have to fall on the mercy of the court and ask the judge to give him directions. The judge, of course, wanting to protect himself or herself, is likely to say, Mr. Turner, we would dearly love it if you had legal representation. That's what happened to us last time we were pulled into court on a bogus action. We're going to give you an update on that one, by the way. There's been some developments. The legal regulators, they were looking into poor conduct on behalf of the barristers and solicitors that had dragged us into court and had us served at home and threatened to take our home, the whole thing, the usual bullying and harassment. But under the law, this bullying harassment is not only sanctioned, it's clearly that's considered to be reasonable conduct because they told us the other day, we've looked into this, it's not unreasonable conduct. So we're going to come out, we're going to show you it's 100% hard evidence that the legal profession deems this kind of conduct by its lawyers, bullying, harassment and conflicts of interest, right? Not disclosing that you're previously involved in a court case which was actually part of the facts in a matter complained of in a defamation action. It's just blue murder. It's a field of dreams for pettifoggers. Blue murder, you can do whatever you want. But once a matter gets to court, the pettifoggers have to kowtow to the judge. And the judges are independent. So it will be interesting to see this court case, how it proceeds, whether BHP will have any luck in having it shut down. We'll keep on it for you. Check out the story on the website. It's the latest one today. And you can check it out in the description as well. While we're here, we want to thank our silver sponsors, Optical Warehouse and Island Optical, for sponsoring directly our journalists that create the content for this kind of stuff. Stephanie Tran has spent herself hours and hours, days and weeks on this story. Check out the stories on the website and look forward to the battle of David and Goliath.